But right now I want to welcome Kai Stinchcomb to the program, CEO of TrueLink. We're talking about Bay Area scams and the elderly. Hey, Kai, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me back.
Okay, so let's begin with what is TrueLink?
We are a financial protection service for people as they age. So the thing that we'll do, if you are concerned about monitoring your finances or you have a family member whose finances you want to monitor, we can set it up so that we can alert you about suspicious transactions on any and all of your accounts and provide you a safe form of payment so that you can spend your money without getting scammed.
And it costs $10 a month, correct?
$10 a month.
Why can't I just do it myself? If there's 3 or 4 accounts, can't I just look at them?
If you, yes, you can, and we absolutely encourage you to do so. We have a database of about 26,000 merchants that we know to be scammy or sometimes unscrupulous. And so I think we do a slightly better job in terms of distinguishing, for example, between a legitimate charity and a lookalike charity, but we absolutely encourage everyone to do it themselves.
Okay, so you were looking at seniors and scams, and you believe you found that it's 12 times worse than most of us think. Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah, previous studies had estimated that it was about $2.9 billion a year, and we just did some new research that concludes that it's about $36.5 billion.
That's a huge spread. How did that come about?
If you'll believe that the previous study was based on newspaper reports, and it turns out most people don't talk to reporters when they get scammed.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? That's what it was?
That's what it was.
Wow. So what did you look at?
We did a survey of seniors and their caregivers, and we asked them about a specific set of things that we've seen among our customers and asked if that had happened to them, and if so, whether they lost money, and then just totaled it up.
And what are, you said specific things that happened to them. What are those specific things?
We asked about 70 different things. There are so many of them out there, but the big categories are there's stuff that involves abuse of trust, so by a family member, by a lawyer, by an accountant. And we actually found that was a smaller percentage than is commonly imagined. And then the second is fraud and cons, so somebody calls late at night asking you to wire money to a family member who's in trouble abroad, and it turns out to be a hoax, or they ask you to invest in a business that doesn't actually exist, that kind of thing. And then the largest category, actually, was when it was operating within view of the law, so a business that seems to be operating legally but uses deceptive language and fine print in order to trick people out of their money.
No offense to a CEO, but isn't that a lot of companies now? I find companies that used to be once very respected are pulling shenanigans constantly.
I think that's absolutely true. I think, the thing is, bluntly, if somebody has memory loss and will give you $10, you can call back in an hour and get another $10 by asking the same questions, reading the same script. And so, people that make money that way make a lot of money.
So they do that on purpose? They make the assumption there's memory loss, they call back?
It's an interesting question. You could go back and forth on that one. I'm sure some people do it on purpose, and I'm sure some people have no idea. And the thing is, at a big company, so for example, you might be shopping for mailing lists in the marketing department, and it turns out that there's a list of something like 1 million people that you can buy the right to send mail to. And the list is entitled People with Dementia Who Believe Their Luck is About to Change. My goodness.
Right? Are you kidding me or not?
I'm not kidding you.
And that is a legitimate, I don't know if you can call it legitimate, but a real company doing business in the United States.
That's correct. That's correct. And, they when they put this together, it turns out that people who think their luck is about to change are good customers for legitimate businesses. If you're selling, I don't know what, entrepreneurship kits, start your own business, and it turns out that people with dementia, if you're selling dementia medicine or in-home care services or retirement homes, so there are legitimate uses. I don't think that when the person who put that together woke up in the morning and said, I'm going to create a tool for scamming seniors, but that's what's happened, right? And then,
yeah, but but come on, if you put a title like that out there, bad guys are going to show up and buy that list, right?
I suspect so.
Yeah, right.
I would have trouble waking up in the morning if I was that guy.
Yeah, that's stunning. You and I are going to go ahead.
You imagine, you're operating a call center, right? And people are calling in telling you that they didn't mean to purchase this thing and they want to return it, right? And that's your job. And you hear that over and over again, and they complain about it and they say they didn't know. You have no idea whether that's 3% of the customers or 93% of the customers, right? And
right,
it's just your job. I mean, I think the thing is, if you're calling from Nigeria telling somebody to wire money to their kid who's in danger, that's a one-man shop, and you're clearly doing the wrong thing. But when you make it a business, it somehow becomes more detached, and I think it enables people to, take more money in a more systematic way.
Where did the switch come where legitimate corporations began to trick people that were impaired by some reason? I mean, that's what I've certainly noticed over my career as a consumer advocate, that when I began, it was, a rip-off artist or something fell through the cracks, and now it's major corporations that are set up to legally take money from people. But it's those who are impaired. I wouldn't fall for it. You wouldn't fall for it.
That's an interesting question. I mean, I think a lot of it has been the way the world has changed with technology. I mean, let's face it, the world is not as safe of a place as it was, when many of us were growing up, right? You think about a small thing like handwriting fonts, right?
Right.
Before the advent of mass laser printing, if a letter had handwriting on the outside that says, Ruth, I'm counting on you to donate today, that means somebody actually thought that Ruth was going to donate and they're counting on them. Now it just means you're part of a mailing list. And for somebody like my grandma, she will see something that says, Ruth, I need you to donate 6 cups of rice because I'm hungry. And she will donate 6 cups of rice, and she'll do it 5 times a day.
Kai Stinchcomb, CEO, TrueLink. You can check out his company at TrueLink.com. Kai, thanks for your time again.
Let me correct, TrueLinkFinancial.com.
Pardon me, say it again.
TrueLinkFinancial.com.
All right, thank you very much, Kai.